I've been at the state level doing a lot of work in terms of environmental protection. I had a bill, unfortunately, that was stalled this year, AB 3030, that would protect 30% of our land and water throughout the state of California. We're going to continue to fight for it, but part of the reasoning was that we need to protect this open space for the preservation of a sustainable future for California. And we know that the scientists tell us that we have to preserve our land for our public health, and to decrease the encroachment and impact that humans have on wildlife, and so on and so on. I've had other legislation to protect migratory birds that's been signed and passed, legislation to protect our biodiversity in the state of California. But to bring it back to the topic at hand of Coyote Valley, I've been with other folks on a journey regarding Coyote Valley for a very long time. Back in 2006, 2007, as I was starting my campaign for city council at the time, there were 5 other people running, and out of the 6 of us, I was the only candidate that was running publicly against the development of Coyote Valley. And if any of you may recall, at that time, there was a specific plan to develop Coyote Valley, basically to a city the size of Mountain View, 100,000 residents, was completely laid out. And I thought that would be a disaster. And at that time, we fought against it. The economy was going relatively well at the time, so there was a lot of pressure from developers. But when I was able to get into the council, and when the recession hit, it gave us an opportunity to really push back and rethink and reimagine what we could do with Coyote Valley and how important it was. And some of you raised some questions. For example, the water table in Coyote Valley is enormously important. And when you pave over it, that's when flooding becomes an issue. Obviously, wildfire protection, wildlife protection. Coyote Valley is a critical land bridge for wildlife from Santa Cruz to Diablo Mountain ranges. And so the other issue that now comes up as we're talking about COVID is we need open spaces for our own personal health, for our family's health. And so as the years went on, we started to see kind of the pendulum start to swing. And I was very grateful, and none of this happens alone. We all do it together in partnership. But I was grateful when Councilmember Sergio Jimenez followed me with the exact same commitment that I had to protecting Coyote Valley. And that was so important because we did not lose any momentum, and actually increase the momentum, especially in the partnership with the Open Space Authority. And we have directors like Director Franco Clausen and the leadership of the Open Space Authority. The partnership is so strong between the city, the state, the Open Space Authority, Peninsula Open Space Trust, and a lot of the different organizations on the ground, that momentum kept building to the point where we started changing a lot of hearts and minds that previously may have been pro-development or pro a little bit of development, even though we know a little bit of development creates that domino effect. And next thing you know, it really becomes a totally different type of landscape. And one of the things that I was able to work on with the Open Space Authority and the City of San Jose last year in support was AB 948, the Coyote Valley Conservation Program. So that was landmark legislation that we were able to work on together to formally recognize Coyote Valley for what it is, the incredibly valuable resource, a natural resource that we need to protect for generations to come. And then this year, Senator Bell, SB 940, created a mechanism for the city to further protect Coyote Valley by increasing density for housing, infill development in the more urban part of the city, while at the same time preserving more of Coyote Valley. And so that's again where the city, Councilmember Jimenez, the mayor and council got on board to take further steps to protect Coyote Valley. And so we're in a great place right now, but the reason why we're in that great place is because Measure Q gave us resources to work, give the Open Space Authority, City of San Jose, Post and other organizations the resources to actually buy up land. At the end of the day, the land will not be protected unless it's bought. That's the only way you can protect it. If you just say, okay, well, we're going to just change our general plan and make it zoning for, make it permanent open space. As Sergio knows, any given Tuesday, a different council 10 years from now can say, you know what? we changed our mind. We're going to let so-and-so factory open up down there because, whatever, because A, B, and C. We want jobs down there. We want this, we want that. So that's why it's critical that we actually not only have to have things like legislation to create a conservation program or legislation from Senator Bell to help to facilitate protection. We need the Open Space Authority to have the resources and ability to actually purchase and protect land permanently. That is totally consistent with my AB 3030 to protect 30% of our land throughout the state. And that 30% number is not pulled out of the air. Scientists are telling us that. And we believe in science in California. We believe in science in San Jose, in Silicon Valley. And so the scientists are telling us that we need to protect this land. This is actually land that even connects with global warming. The more land you're able to protect, it helps to combat global warming. It's all connected. And now with this pandemic, with the wildfires, and this is getting worse every year, we're seeing how human behavior is connected to all of these tragedies. And we can fix it. We created it, we can fix it. And that's why I'm so excited about Measure T, because we need the Open Space Authority to continue their work. And they can only do that with those resources. And that's why it's gotten, Measure Q was supported. I'm confident Measure T will get the support of the community, because especially right now, as people are at home and the only respite they get is a walk outside or go to these open spaces, people understand more than ever why it's important to protect our open spaces. So